Thank you, Jess. What an exciting race it was in the supercars. And it's the young stars of the future who will roll on out to try and follow up the action. But look how dirty it is off the racing line after the Dunlop Super Soft tyres have been shedding their skin over the course of the race. So making manoeuvres off the racing line could be quite difficult for our Formula 4 young chargers. Let's check out the Formula Ford grid right now. Matt Nolte joining me for this one. It'll be Aaron Cameron and Max Vidot off that front row. Aaron Cameron has been lightning quick. Hunter McElrea, son of Andy McElrea, off position number 3 alongside Jada No Jada, who's in this championship fight. Riding on board with Cooper Murray, he'll start out of 5th. Adrian Lazaro caught up in that lap 1, race 1 accident. Cameron Shields won Formula 4 2 weeks ago in Perth. He's out there in this field. Huge grid of over 30 cars. It's broken into 2 races. So you've got the Duratec guys out there, who are the faster style cars, and then the old Kent motors for rows 14 and back. Simon Hodges, some pretty familiar names out there. Dan Houlihan. James Corbett, the man who designed and made the Pertec Endurance Cup, is out there as well. Cool. So a bit of a mix of new and old, but always competitive and so much history.
Had a chance to watch this race earlier this morning from turn number 1, and great to see so many Formula Fords here at Winton. They've had some great races over the years. Number 16 just warming up the tyres right now. Distinct difference between the Fiesta engines, and the Duratec engines, if you will, and the classic Kent engines, which ran in the 90s and early 2000s. We've seen some great names come out of this category, go on to bigger and better things over the past decade, dating back to 30 or 40 years ago.
Now, last time they ran with the supercars was Sydney Olympic Park in 2013. Macaulay Jones won on that day, the very last race. Formula Ford and V8s running side by side. And then, to prove your point, there was Macca Jones today on the grid in the supercars as a wild card. So Aaron Cameron not in this championship fight. He's pretty much picking and choosing which races he's going to do. He's focusing on the Toyota 86 series. But the guys behind him really are thinking about the championship. Max Vidot, 15-year-old out of South Australia, he's in this fight. 16-year-old now, recently had a birthday. Hunter McElrea fighting for this championship, 17 years of age. Jada No Jada as well, so some pretty big names to watch out for. Have a look at how slowly Aaron Cameron's going on his way around to the grid. And this will really bank things up and make sure that he's not sitting on that start line for too long. 10's Billanook High in Melbourne's eastern suburbs, lives in Kilsyth. Getting the win on in his home state today, holding off the hard-charging Sonic boys. Hunter McElrea, Kiwi background. The McElrea family, his dad, Andy McElrea, operates that very successful Porsche Carrera Cup team. But he's actually born in the United States, was Hunter McElrea, so he's got the US passport as well. Lucky kid.
Excellent, yeah.
This is 17 laps long, which is very long for a Formula Ford race. Over 50 kilometres, so there'll be some full tanks out there. And that could mean a little bit of chaos early on when they try and pull these cars up down at turn 1. Last race on the schedule this weekend. It's the Australian Formula Ford Series. Big queue of cars. Look at that, all the way back to turn 12. One or two of them still sliding into spot. That was James Corbett right at the back, waiting on the green flag. There it is. Now, Aaron Cameron hasn't been good on the start line this weekend. Can he improve his starts? Nervous young man, one at the backward quite early. And it's Max Vidot who wins that run away down to the first corner. So Aaron Cameron will slot back in behind him. Hunter McElrea 3rd. Jada No Jada in there, he's P4. Do we get them all through this first corner, second corner? So far, so good. Now, you've got to be careful running off the surface down here at turn 3. It'll be slippery. Nice work getting the car stopped. Clean start. Oh, that's Liam McClellan running off in the background. James Courtney's young protege, 20 years old from Melbourne. On board with Cooper Murray through turn 5. And already Aaron Cameron sizing up the leader, Max Vidot.
And the track's been rubbered down since Friday morning here at Winton Motor Raceway, where we were swimming around this 3-kilometre circuit. Down to turn 7 for the first. I love this camera angle, looking underneath the Lodge Brothers Stonemasons entry around the old gum tree. We saw a couple of drivers with their hands over the top of their visors. The sun's going to be an issue, as it tends to do at this time of day. Running down, there's the 3 going off on the infield of Prince. And will drop himself to the back of the field. A car slowing.
Oh, yeah, right. That was in an awkward spot too. So is there damage? Is that Nick Carroll who was just slowing down a bit. He was pretty impressive in that first race. Fight for the leaders on. Aaron Cameron getting jumped on the start by Max Beddoe. The High-Tech Oils Formula Ford leading the first lap, looking into that sunshine that you're talking about. Good day for a dark visor. Looking directly into the sun down towards turn 1.
So Max Beddoe with the lead. The young South Aussie's had experience in karts in the local South Australian Hyundai XL Series. Leads us up to the top, but the field's starting to reel him in a bit. There was Cameron Shields in the McDonald's entry back there, car 73. Used to running with some wings on his car. Dropped back into the Formula Ford. This is the replay of the start. This is what caught my attention. Max Beddoe trying to see the light tower to the left-hand side from his High-Tech Oils number 2. The McGale chassis, the French-built chassis. Helped him anyway, got a blinder of a start.
He just launched out of there. They do have a little line locker button to help them stay on the grid box without rolling forward. A little bit of action going on in the background, nothing too crazy. Now, how did Liam McClellan end up out there? Looking for the 97 here. He's on the outside. He was next to Prince, looking at that one. And then more going on around turn 8, and that was Prince involved again, this time going to Highline.
That's the other car that was limping down.
Nathan Hearn.
Yeah, the backside towards turn number 10. As the leaders were running their way around turn 7.
Not too happy either.
If you're saying, what'd you do that for? It's lap 1.
Nathan's just 14 years of age. He's not afraid to rough it with the bigger kids.
Angry young man.
This is a good battle pack for the lead. Max Beddoe leading at the moment from Aaron Cameron. Now, Cameron got a bonus point for getting pole position, so if they finish the way they are on the road, he would win the round, but you get the feeling it's not going to stay the same for the next 14 laps. Not in Formula Ford. No chance, no way.
Classic Formula Ford action, isn't it? Running down past the old pit straight into turn number 1. At least 10 cars battling for the top positions. The Australian Formula Ford Series, race number 3 of the weekend. We didn't get past the first turn in race number 1. Cool camera angle. Looking inside. These amazing little cars that have been racing around these tracks for so many years now. They really feel the bumps, don't they?
Anyone fancy move down at turn 7? Not this time, but this is building, isn't it? Lazaro there, P6, behind him, Shield 7. So 7-car fight for the lead. And it's not a big slipstream track either, so it's impressive that they're all queuing up on one another.
So Max Beddoe leads us out of turn 9, down to turn 10, ahead of Cameron. Ojeda is 3rd, McElroy in 4th, Cooper Murray in 5th. Replay happening down here at turn 3 to 29, locking up the brakes and spearing off the circuit.
Hearn there from Lismore. Just overcooked it slightly at turn 3. Another spot where you're looking into the sun as well, actually, so maybe just missing that braking marker. And off he goes, just 14, so still learning his way, isn't he? Look at this.
This is cool.
Aaron Cameron wanting to double up. A little puff of dust as he changed gear. 4-speed gearbox. Liam McClellan, the fastest man on the track after running off on the opening lap. He's got some work to do. He's back down in 16th. It's not been a good weekend for the 20-year-old from Melbourne. Jaden Ojeda had half a look. And the 31 covered off. Hunter McElroy in behind them in 4th. He led for a little bit of the race earlier this morning. Good friends with Matt Campbell, who's off doing some pretty special things with Porsche Super Cup in Europe.
He was awesome last weekend at Catalunya, wasn't he?
Yeah. Back-to-back pole positions, a 5th and a 3rd, his race results. Everyone cheering him on, no doubt, from Australia. He'll be racing next week in Monaco and Porsche Super Cup before returning to drive alongside today's race winner in the Supercars for the Pertec Endurance Cup. He'll be sharing car number 97 with SVG.
A great year ahead of him.
So not a bad mentor for Hunter McElroy, is what we're saying.
He'll go a long way. Down to turn 10. There's your leaderboard. Beddoe, less than half a second between he and Cameron. Ojeda still in 3rd, McElroy in 4th. Back to Cooper Murray, Adrian Lazaro, who's raced for quite some time in this category. My name is Shields, Jones, Rabatis, and Zach Suter completing the top 10.
Oh, McClellan again.
And that's on the old circuit.
Nearly ended up in the drink there. Now, he's done the Taz Douglas shortcut. He's gone through on the old circuit, gone straight from turn 10 and ended up actually ahead of the leaders here. So essentially he's doing 1.5 laps. That'll ruin his race. It'll drop him all the way to last. Here he is.
I don't think it's going to make it
Oh,
around.
no, he's got more damage than that to worry about. Now, the leaders are going to catch him in about 10 seconds' time here, and that could be real less. Look at that. They're on him now, and he just sails wide to let them through. What a shame. He was one of the guys to watch out for in this championship. Young star from Sonic. He's very successful in the old CIK Stars of karting. And how did this unfold, Matt? Oh, came in hot down at turn 10. And that is a classic Formula Ford maneuver, that one, when you jump up over someone else's wheel.
They're tough little cars, but even they have their limits.
This one's just about giving up. He's trying to bring it back, trying to salvage something. You can see the little JC kart sticker on there. James Courtney's been instrumental in teaching this young man his trade. It's not been his weekend, but he is a superstar in the making. Oh, here we go, down at turn 10, Hunter McElrea. First time we've seen a real move in this top 5. And Cameron, it's on inside these top positions.
Update from the lane, guys. Nathan Hearn's gone and parked it back in the paddock. His weekend's done, steering damage.
So, second-generation driver. His dad, pretty well known in the Lismore area from the Speedway days. Their family lost a bunch of trucks in the recent Lismore floods. See those photos of Lismore, the whole town and city underwater, the whole Speedway under the drink.
Dirt modified stars for many, many years as well on the dirt tracks. Here's Bedot and Cameron just starting to put a bit of a margin now on Hunter McElrea. I say a bit of a margin, it's only 0.3 of a second. That's huge in Formula Ford racing. There's Cameron Shields, another one of the many stars that's coming out of Toowoomba these days. He was great over in Perth. The Formula 4 Championship.
He held his nerve, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's doing what Will Brown did last year, doing both Formula 4 and Formula Ford. Will finished first in Formula 4, second in Formula Ford. Cameron can follow the footsteps there of his fellow Toowoomba superstar in the making, then he'll be pretty happy about that. Stepping back from Formula 3 to compete in these categories, so has some pretty good experience with high downforce fast cars. So losing the wings here, obviously, for Formula Ford. A bit more mechanical grip to worry about. Teaches you how to set up the race car. Another Victorian here, Cooper Murray. Melbourne's got a lot of fast future drivers coming up through the ranks.
It's always been a tough market, the Victorian Formula Ford Championship. It's always been one of the tough ones in Australia. The Borland team, which have promoted so many young stars over the years. A couple in the field here this weekend as well, and some names have been doing this for quite some time. As challenged now further back in the field, Paul Zide, he's one guy I'll talk about.
Bartis here, he'll have the inside at turn 1 in car 5. Let's see who can break the latest. Good move, held on. Jones falls back in behind him, now springs to the inside. He thought about how he'd pull that off, but couldn't quite go late under brakes. Good fight, good battle, clean stuff. So at the moment, we've got a South Aussie leading a Victorian, leading a Queenslander slash Kiwi slash American.
International star, we call him.
A New South Welshman in 4th, and then another Victorian in 5th. So great variety. Here we go. Oh, that's tight. Lazaro just pulling the nose cone back in then. Didn't want to hit Cooper Murray. We're right on board with Cooper now, looking backwards as Lazaro pulls on the pressure.
Yeah, stiffly sprung these cars up. They accelerate out of turn number 9, down to turn 10. Let's go back down to the pits with Cam.
Hey guys, guess who I found down here having a chat to Mike Borland in the background. You started your career way back in Victorian Formula Ford, didn't you, Craig Lowndes? Amazing category.
I did. It's like, and this was a home track for me. This was my base. So it's obviously great to see the cars run around again. The reason I'm talking to Mike is he's got my, will help me restore my original Formula Ford, which is actually out the back of the paddock. So I'm going to take it home after this weekend. So it's nice to obviously see the cars, as I said, run around. Hear that famous noise again.
Hey, this track as well. I mean, you've had a big old tough race, a big tough weekend, and a lot of tough racing out there. That's the one word I always use about this place. Wait for the cars to go past. You've cut so many laps around here, though. It's just brutal. It's unrelenting, isn't it?
Well, it is, and I think that's because of the track's so smooth and so easy on the tyres that you can sort of get a longevity out of them. And of course, track position is vital, and I think that we saw that up the front. You had to make a mistake to actually get a position, and I got stuck behind Rick there for such a long time in that mid part of the race and then towards the end. So, yeah, we had a good car, but we qualified poorly, which we're obviously going to try and rectify. But it is a great track. Like, there's no doubt about it. This is where I cut my teeth, and I'm still here.
Now, Craig, what are you going to do with this Formula Ford? I just want to follow up on that story very quickly. Will you go out in it or just park it?
Well, first thing is going to see if I can fit in it. But yeah, I like to. Like the whole purpose of Mike sort of helped. Well, actually, it's been at Mike's workshop, and the reason's been there because he's still got all the jigs and everything else for the old wishbone. So we've had a great time restoring. My dad and I did it. Well, he did most of it, I should say. And of course, it's great to obviously have it back in one piece. Take it home. We're going to sticker it up yet, but it's all painted up the way I had it. So looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Craig.
Cheers. Thank you.
It's a cool story, isn't it?
That's not bad at all. The 1993 Australian Formula 4 champion, Craig Lowndes.
So does the Driver to Europe series back in the days. Some big names come through the category that were trying to make their names known over in Europe. This action continues. Brighton Renault entry.
Oh.
There's contact.
And around goes Cody Donald. And copped a shot in the right rear. And he had his hands full at the time with Nick Carroll. Should be able to get this car out of there if it's not beached on the curb. 16-year-old well, that right rear is actually off the ground, so it might be quite difficult. From Melbourne, had a chat with his dad this morning. They're quite keen to put some stickers on this car and help him progress up through the ranks, and I don't think he's getting out of this one. Safety car deployed. Cody in a pretty awkward spot, and that's a shame. Debuted in Formula 4 last year at Sandown Motor Raceway, and it looks like he's stuck right now. He'll lose the lead lap too, which is disappointing. The awkward thing here, Matt, pretty sure this was friendly fire. Sonic Motor Racing teammates. Angelo Mazuris up the inside. Around he goes.
They're low to the ground. They hate curbs. Once they're on there, they tend to get stuck belly up on there. So he thought about it, probably wasn't committed enough to make the pass here. It's just a gentle tangle with the right rear wheel.
He
around
tried
Donald.
so hard to get out of that, didn't he? So, yeah, that's a shame for Cody Donald. Really talented kart driver. Nearly won the Australian Kart Championship last year. And then tried to get up.
Oh.
Nearly. Huff and puff. Couldn't quite get off the curb. Safety car, Vodafone safety car deployed. And didn't it shake up the race in the supercars today? Wonder what effect it'll have on the young stars in Formula Ford. How will it help or hinder their Yokohama tyres to get them through to the end? They only get one set for the weekend. You're allowed to bring an old set with you to compete on and one new set. That flock of galahs has been infield all day out there.
They've been here all week. They're better take over this track.
The crew out there in the Vodafone safety car. There they
Check
are.
them out. They started with 3. Yeah,
They don't know where to go.
Shy too.
They keep going out of turn 11, but there's cars there, so they go back to turn 12, and then they repeat.
There's more cars. Where do we
Finally.
go?
They're out of here. They've checked out. They've seen enough.
So lap 10 of 17, a longer distance for race 3 of the Australian Formula Ford Series. Great to have them back on the support card in our Virgin Australia Supercars Championship. Take a lap or so to get this car off the curb and hopefully back into the race. Drops him right down the order. He'll go a lap down at least here. So for Doe, Cameron and McElrea, your top 3 was 1.1 seconds, but that will close right up and spice up the back half of this race.
Nice work. Bit of a shove. They only weigh 510 kilos, the little Formula Fords. Shouldn't be too much damage to that car either. But unfortunately, he'll be not on the lead lap, so won't really be contending from this point on, Cody Donald. Nice young man. Very close to winning the Australian Kart Championship last year against some pretty senior drivers as well. Wasn't competing at a junior level. He's taking on the big guns as a 16-year-old and nearly beating them. And now stepping up to Formula Ford, giving the karting away for the year, focusing on this. Nice family from Victoria. Trying to get their son up and into a career in motorsport. You could say that about just about anyone in this field right now, including the man who's leading this race, Max Vidot. And a lot of South Australian support thrown behind this potential future star. Just 16 years of age. Warming up his Yokohama tyres, or trying to keep the heat in them. Aaron Cameron, winner of the first race. If they finish the way they are, Cameron will win the round, courtesy of that bonus point. Should get a restart this time by, so the Vodafone safety car will switch off its lights, which is the signal to everyone. Oh, Vidot nearly losing it there behind the safety car. He's trying to get some heat into the tyres running the high line. He may have just made them dirty by doing that. So if he tries to pick up the speed, he might spin up the rear tyres as a result. Only about 130 horsepower out of these little 1.6 litre engines. Just watch this here. The race leader behind the safety car, gassing her up. That was close.
It's really only one line down there.
Watching a bit too much Shane Van Gisbergen, I think, out there after that celebration. Here we go. Let's send the Formula Fords back out to finish this one off. There'll be 7 laps to go. Now, will Vidot spin up his rear tyres on the restart? No is the answer. It's a pretty clean restart, actually, leaving Aaron Cameron behind. The front 6 all leading together. But the battle is on for 7th behind them. There's a few involved in that scrap. They fan out and they sort it out by turn 1.
So 2 groups of 7 cars at the resumption of race 3 of the Australian Ford Series is down the inside.
That's
goes
aggressive.
Ojeda. They go side by side on Hunter McElrea. He's going to lose 2 positions here.
Make that 3. Lazaro goes through. Shields wants a piece of the action. Can't quite get it done. Hunter McElrea. Wow. That was an aggressive move from Jaden Ojeda to sneak on through. We saw that very thing happen to Scott McLaughlin earlier today. So he's in good company. Oh, a bit more going on. Shields getting picked off down there at turn 7. And that was Rabatis. Good move.
So much dive bombing goes up there at turn 7. You can pull out the last second and put the car down the inside and basically push the car to the high side of the track. 6 back there in 15th position to Paul Zide. He's been around for a long time in this category. Less than 2/10 of a second back to Cameron. They're 4/10 to Ojeda. We're talking tenths, not seconds from this category. Down to the final turn and on to pit straight. We'll off another lap. These Duratec engines humming along nicely on lap 12. Down to the S's.
Watch how close they get up to that curve on the outside. Don't want to go touching that. These little lightweight cars. And Max Vidot holding his nerve at the moment, but this is building. The feeling we're in for a big grand finale, grandstand finish here. 17 laps, so they're just trying to save some rubber for the end. You only get that 1 set of tyres. It's tight down there at turn 7. Such a good passing opportunity, but you need to really commit. Vidot still leading. Aaron Cameron, today's race winner. And Jaden Ojeda, who's really found something.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
He's looking promising here.
He looks stronger going through the hairpin section around the old gum tree. Runs in 3rd position in the VHT-sponsored car. Down towards turn number 11, you can always see the gearbox right in the face of the Wilson security car ahead. Down into the final turn. That's Lazaro with Murray doing the chasing. Another lap in the books as the BJR boys look on and remember the good old times.
That's cool. Nick Percat, 2009 champion. Blanchard, 2007 champion. Tim Slade as well down there. Runner-up in 2006. Remembering their time in Formula Ford quite fondly.
Here's Shields. He's got the run on the 5 of Habatis down into turn number 1. Should get it done. Oh. Yes, he does. And the 48 of Carroll thought about it, but held back on lap 13. Unlucky for some.
Carroll got slapped on the wrist for his part in the opening lap crash yesterday. So just being a little bit cautious there. Front 3 trying to break away here. Love junior Formula racing. They let it really be free, don't they?
Yeah, no fear.
No, they don't hold back the punches. They throw plenty of moves at each other. Keen to impress. Oops. Trying to pick exactly where that is. Going across turn 5, rejoining at turn 8.
Almost got stuck on the belly as well.
Yeah,
45.
Nick Shemry. So, Hunter McElrea under fire. Cooper Murray.
Keep it down the middle. He's coming for you. The car squirming under brakes at turn 11 into 12.
I think he was trying to tell him that let's work together here. That's what that hand signal probably was. Let's try and catch the guys up the road. There's no point fighting each other too hard just yet. And that will be for Mazuris, and that will be for turning Cody Donald around down at turn 12. So a drive-through penalty.
Across It's the old start-finish line where these guys, well, these cars would have started back in their days.
Just feigned a move there for a second, pull back in.
Imagine if that's where they would start the races now, this many cars.
There's a bit else going on at turn 12, and a few involved in this one.
There's damage to him, right-hand side. Nonetheless, Rideau, who's led this from the lights going out, 14 laps old now. No Jada. We picked this a couple of laps ago, staying to turn the heat up.
It was James Corbett running off in the older style Kent car. Big understeer mid-corner. It's so dirty off the racing line.
It's a big tyre wall on the left-hand side, which will still do damage to the car, regardless of how quick you hit it. Down to turn 10. It's now a 4-car scrap for the lead. Closing stages, it'll be 3 laps to go.
Wow.
At the end of this. Yeah, you blink and the race is almost over.
Lazaro's really brought his way back into this one, hasn't he? He's P4 at the moment. Vido leads another one. When will Aaron Cameron strike? He's pretty close this time. Now it's Jones facing the wrong way down at turn 12. Let's hope he can get it going. It's actually 11. We'll go the long way to keep it running. Harrison Jones, who was running mid-pack there for a while, just inside the top 10.
Absolutely no heat in those tyres now. That'd be stone cold coming back out.
Plus covered in dirt as well.
Covered in dirt. Won't be fun. Vido, Cameron and Ojeda down to turn 5. Adrian Lazaro set his own fastest lap of the race on the previous lap by. Hunter McElroy's down the inside now. He's been wanting to do this for a couple of laps. He needs to hang tough now. Oh, great racing. Tries to switch back here around the gum tree.
Quite gentlemanly, wasn't it? They gave each other enough room to move. Didn't run him out of road at the exit, which ultimately left himself vulnerable at turn 8. And is that enough for Max Vido to hang on here? Or can Aaron Cameron catch him up again? Well, the Kent guys have been into it in this race, haven't they? There's a bit going on here. How high does he sit in this race car too? Just under that roll hoop. Let's hope we can get the Spectrum out of here. Lima gets it moving. Lights are up and out of there, so we're still green.
There's Alec Lima, the 17-year-old. Description is really tall. They've got that right.
2 to go. 6Ks of racing remain at Winton. It's been another exciting Winton super sprint. Oh, Vido just running wide that time at turn 1. The pressure is mounting. As he nears the end now, he's finally vulnerable. And this could be the change for the lead. He's so late under brakes there, Max Vido. He's a jet when it comes to jumping on that pedal on the left-hand side. Good stuff.
Watch Lazaro. He could get Ojeda here for 3rd position. Right on the gearbox through turn 5. This is the spot where Ojeda pounced on the lap previous.
Or again, Vido letting it all hang out sideways, backing it on into turn 7. And this has given Hunter McElroy half a sniff again as well. Not long to go.
Round turn 9, so Vido leading this angry pack of another 4 cars behind, down towards turn number 10 with 1 and a bit laps remaining. He's got a line protected there. In fact, he and Cameron just starting to get a bit of a gap on the 3rd place. Jaden Ojeda, race winner at Sandown earlier this year, picked up back-to-back race wins. Now holds down the 3rd position, but under massive siege from Lazaro and Hunter McElroy. Final lap now for Max Vido, the South Aussie in the High-Tech Oils entry.
They've been patient. They've been waiting. The time for patience is over. It's the last lap. If you want it, you've got to go get it right now. No move down at turn 1. Hunter McElroy's lurking. He might be able to get a bit of a run out of turn 2. How about Aaron Cameron? He checked both his mirrors down the straight, saw that there's no attack coming from behind, so he's free to have a crack at the race win. And still Vido holding his nerve.
We've got a good margin here now. 1st and 2nd. Still 1 full second between them.
He was slipping and sliding through here last time. Oh, it's close. Cameron wants to double up in front of his home state fans. He's a Victorian up from Melbourne. Here he is, car 9. Really just running as a privateer against the might of Sonic and Borland. Max Vidot's doing enough. Talented young South Australian. He was pretty quick at state level in South Australia last year and stepping up into the big-time ranks. He is doing a very good job. He's got pretty much one big braking zone left to fend off Aaron Cameron, but Cameron's got a pretty good run. He'll have to come from a long way back if he wants it. He thinks better of it, and there's a reason for that, because he doesn't need to win this race to win the round. Last corner, Vidot onto the front straight. The High-Tech Oils Formula Ford gets the job done. Talk about a good drive. Held his nerve, didn't he? Under heavy fire. Congratulations. That is a cool head on 16-year-old shoulders. Nice work. And Aaron Cameron doing enough to win the round. As the sun nearly sets on the Winton Super Sprint, it's Max Vidot who wins the second and final race. Aaron Cameron, by just a 1/10 of a second, followed him all the way. Ojeda, Lazaro, McElrea, Murray. It was a good battle the whole way back through the pack of over 30 Formula Fords. Missouri's getting that drive-through penalty for turning around Cody Donald. So he got a bonus point for taking the pole position on Friday. It was a really tricky pole position too. And Aaron Cameron needed that bonus point to win the round. This is how it looks. 37 points for Aaron Cameron. Not doing the whole championship. Max Vidot doing a good job. He is leading this championship, looking good in season 2017. Jess, that was entertaining.